777, aka Diz, and this is The Force Always.
Okay, so welcome to the show in my Jedi robe. Let's get on with the news for this week. First off, later on the show I'm going to do a unique review, something that is not really Star Wars related, but it sort of has a sort of connection to Star Wars, but I thought I'd review it. Watch out later on. It's the NF album, the Search album. NF, it's a hip-hop artist later on the show, but let's get on to with more news. It's now 138 days, and that's 138-ish days to Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. That's right, it's coming fast and Furious, or Hobbs and Shaw, let's say, but Fast and Furious, it's coming. The Rise of Skywalker, Episode 9, 138-ish days, just to let you know. Anyway, to more news. During the last couple of days, we've had, again, every episode in this sequel trilogy, Lego somehow has really bad leaks early on. And we've had more leaks for Episode 9 characters because of copyright reasons, and also just, for the sake of spoilers. I won't show you these images, but there was one of the new character, new lady type bounty hunter that we're sort of yet to learn more about. We saw the Knights of Ren and a new trooper of some sort. Looks like a snow trooper, I think, but unsure. But there were some leaks from Lego, Episode 9 characters. You possibly could check them out now still, I don't know. They could be online. But anyway, to more news, Disney Plus. This is probably the bigger news. Disney Plus is months away now for opening its doors to the public, especially in America. I think it's November 12th. They open for business as a streaming service. That's their version of Netflix, you could say. Disney Plus. Excuse me. And also, I still have a little bit of a cold. So Disney Plus opens its doors to the public in America November 12th. And it's going to have a whole lot of Disney type related movies, documentaries, sitcoms or whatever you like, or series. The one we're all looking forward to, especially Star Wars fans, is The Mandalorian. But I did look in the fine print, and there's a little bit of a concerning thing for someone like myself. The release date for America is November 12th, but for Australia and other countries outside America, it says up to 2 years. I don't think we're going to wait that long, but I don't think Australia is actually going to get it on November 12th. We could be behind, which is a bit concerning because I really don't want to wait for this type of thing. One aspect to a Star Wars fan is that we want to see it straight away before anyone else. This is the whole sort of thing. Excuse me. In fact, this is part of the problem, I think, where Solo, A Star Wars Story, sort of failed. It had so many premieres around the world, including 2 world premieres before it got released, that the humble, hardcore Star Wars fan was left to see it like a second nature. So I think that's where that film sort of failed in its box office thing. I think the fans got really sort of knocked around from that part, because a hardcore Star Wars fan really wants to see these things first. They're not interested in seeing it second. They're that hardcore. I know this is regards to myself and what I think that others would think. But anyway, so the Disney Plus streaming service, which is like Netflix, will be opening its doors. I think it's November 12th for America, but other countries outside of America, I'm unsure. But wishingly, it could be that day. But let's hold on. Excuse me again, my goodness. It's quite a cough that I've had. But anyway, to more news, Jon Favreau, via his social networks, has released an image of a sketch during the scoring of The Mandalorian Season 1. So that's pretty exciting. That's wrapping up, coming to a conclusion. Obviously, when you do the score, from what I understand, in a Star Wars movie or TV series now, it's the last sort of process. So it's coming to a close. You know, a tight sort of fit for that Mandalorian season 1. Jon Favreau releases a funky little sketch of an IG character. I won't say IG-88 because I don't think it's IG-88, which is the particular droid that we saw in Empire Strikes Back episode 5. Excuse me, I do 5. No, yeah, 5. I think that's right. But anyway, so that was during the week. That's, anyway, pretty much the news for Star Wars this week. Let's get into the views. Views is not about the amount of views someone gets on YouTube, let alone my ones. But that doesn't matter. I'm still here rocking because I still love it. Always. The Force, always. Anyway, it's views is about my story ideas that fits within the Star Wars universe somewhere, somehow. Could be a poster. Like a storytelling idea that's on a poster. It could be, excuse me again, it could be a trailer, it could be a teaser, it could be a movie. But anyway, this time around I'm going to still concentrate on the excitement I think we all have for episode 9. And I think one point of aspect that we're all excited for, especially hardcore Star Wars fans, is Emperor Palpatine, Emperor Sheev Palpatine. He's obviously going to come back in some form. I sort of felt this was going to happen before the actual trailer. In fact, I arranged to get a photo with the actual Emperor with Ray Park when I was at Star Wars Celebration in Chicago, thinking this could be an iconic moment, and I think I was right. But anyway, Palpatine coming back. We're all trying to speculate in how he's going to come back. Well, I think as a story idea, not as a prediction, that Palpatine really does need to come back in some sort of ghostly form. Not real form, because it's got to be sort of connected to the Battlefront 2, which I think Battlefront 2 was the game, that we saw images of the Emperor within a red robotic sort of suit, like life after death type of thing, messages for him to instruct the Empire even when he was dead. I think to continue that connection to that story is going to make sense. And for him to be a ghostly type figure, sort of like a that type of sort of, transparent figure, will create a haunting sort of feel for this character, which would be interesting and very dark. But excuse me, my goodness. Even though I'd like to see him come back in a physical form, I think maybe having fighting come back to come in a physical form would be good. Him to possess a real body would be interesting and fun. And in fact, that was one of the original story ideas I remember watching on StarWars.com in its characters many decades ago. In how the story progresses, I was interested to see how things would progress, and there was a point where the Emperor was trying to possess a person, and it was actually at that time Anakin Solo, which was the son of Leia and Han Solo, and trying to turn that person to the dark side. That was on StarWars.com many decades ago. That's probably changed by now. But I would like, as much as I would like to see him come back as a physical form, I would like him to be more of a ghostly, sort of transparent form in this movie, Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, even attempting to become back to life. That would be an interesting story point in Episode 9. But that would take a very big part of the episode. It's got to be sort of done to fit in with the many things that Episode 9 is sort of been said it's going to do, which is a conclusion to all the sagas of all the episodes that we've had. So that's what I would like to see. Emperor Palpatine coming back in some sort of transparent form, ghostly, or electronic transparency, giving messages to the evil empire or the First Order, or whatever they want to call it in this movie, to continue the evilness as he was doing then, but even now, in a way. Excuse me, my goodness. I am coming to a better point of this cold anyway. So that's my views idea this time around. Let's get into the reviews. Reviews this time is actually the NFL, which came out in the last week. Excuse me, which is called The Search. Now, I'm a bit of a hip hop fan. I have been since '83. In fact, this show, if you listen to the theme, was a piece of music that I created. I've done hip hop myself for many, many, many decades. In fact, 30 years. Unseen, unheard, it's a bit of a hard industry to sort of work, but, for hip-hop, I like myself, life, whatever life presents, you just keep rocking on, in a sense. But the NF album, I followed this guy, NF, for actually quite a while, for I think at least 6 or 7 years. And every time he comes out with something that's really interestingly dark, in fact, I look at it as gothic, sort of symphonic. That's sort of the reason why I want to bring NF into this Star Wars type of episodes, because he does bring a Star Wars epicness to hip-hop in its symphonic and its gothicness that I'd like to see a bit more of in Star Wars. And I think that such a symphonic sound being looped up within beats, I've always loved. It's my ultimate sort of way of creating beats. Symphony and beats. It's beautiful. And this latest album, his last album had I think the tune was called Outro, and it was a very interesting title because it really didn't. It sounded like it was just a part of an album saying Outro, but it was actually really, really good. I thought it was hip hop tune of the year. That was, I think, last year. But this one is a very, very good album. There's lots of quality songs on this. You can hear the commercialism coming through. It's still very good. Like, you could play a lot of these songs on radio in time to come. Excuse me. I think he's kept his sort of sound, which is good. I think a lot of artists sometimes stray from the actual sound to do something different when they don't need to. He's kept it. I think it's very good. The beats are very now, with a little bit of sort of 80s sort of feel in its beat patterns and hat patterns. The hat patterns are more now, but it still has an 808 drum machine sort of sound, which is good. I think the standout track on NF, The Search, for me was Returns. Whatever that song is about, apparently it's meant to be an indirect hit to Eminem. I don't know. It's actually very good lyrically. It's very good in its lead up, and it's very good in its general sound. The only part that I sort of cringe to a little is at the very start, there's this sort of high pitched sort of voice looping. It's very now in a lot of production, but excuse me, I just think it was a bit more commercially added in there. But Returns is definitely a highlight track. I would give that track a 9 out of 10. The whole album, I would say, is 7 out of 10. It's not his best work, but he's consistent and he's still got great stuff on there. I mean, NF, I don't know where you're watching this video, but where I'm from, Melbourne, Australia, I don't know anyone who's into or heard of this person. Even people who are into R&B, from your Drakes, if that's R&B, I don't know, Drakes or even hardcore hip-hop, no one knows about this artist. Yet, he's massive, from what I can tell, on YouTube and album sales in America. In other places, and I just don't know anyone that I know. But it seems like I stand alone with this guy. He's definitely the one standout rapper or production that I like nowadays. I'm 47, and so I've come from a very old school of thinking. I've come from the Beat Street era. That's 1983. Beat Street, the movie, 10 out of 10. It lost its points. If you look at it today, it's a little bit cringeworthy, but still, it's great. But NF, The Search, the album, is 7 out of 10. Very good. Standout track, Returns. Check it out. And again, the reason why I've mentioned this in the reviews of Star Wars is because it's sort of got that symphonic connection, which I think Star Wars has a very symphonic, epic way of telling its story, and I think that's what NF does in a more real-to-life sort of way. His production is epic, especially in its symphonic area, like the instruments. Excuse me. His beats are very, now, but very good. Anyway, so let's get on to more news. Not more news. No, the reviews. That's the reviews. Hold on, one moment. No, not hold on for one moment. Let's keep going. So, while I'm in, I'm reaching out for some some pills at the moment for the sake of getting over this sickness I've got. Hence why I'm in the Jedi bathroom or bedroom robe, which is actually the Force Awakens that I embroidered on. It's very nice. I wore this at Celebration. It's lovely and warm. But anyway, let's have reviews. That's reviews for this time around. Let's get into interviews 2Q. 2 questions I asked myself for you guys out there. Now, we've just had San Diego Comic-Con. No Star Wars trailer. When will the Episode 9 next trailer or teaser hit? I said in my last episode it shouldn't be a D23, which is less than or about a month away now. Less than a month, I think. It shouldn't be then. I think they need to concentrate on Disney Plus, and it will get lost. It may stand out, but I think it will get lost in the amount of detail that D23 needs to really concentrate on Disney Plus. We could, from now to before Disney Plus, get a surprise teaser trailer. I think it's the type of thing that I've noticed Disney do. When they drop some of their teasers or trailers for Star Wars, it's at a time that we least expect. So from now to D23, which is at least 3 to 4 weeks away, we could be getting a teaser trailer. In my opinion, that's a good point to do it now. Not on D23, because it will be just so inundated with Disney Plus information. Not just Star Wars, not just Marvel, but not just Pixar, but everything. That day, that weekend, D23 should be about Disney Plus. That's in my opinion. So the Episode 9, when should we get it? I think we should now get it from now to before D23, which is technically 3 to 4 weeks away. Somewhere in that time period. That's what I think we should do, because we need to get this before Disney Plus and The Mandalorian really take over. When The Mandalorian takes over, you can use The Mandalorian with the ad space in between for Episode 9. So that's why I'm saying it should be now to before D23, which is about 3 or 4 weeks away. We should get the next Episode 9 teaser and or trailer. Anyway, second question. I've sort of answered this before, but let me answer it again. What does this Episode 9 trailer need? I think it also needs another snippet, especially verbally, of the Emperor, that just create a bit more interest about that character, but also something that we're not expecting. That's the beauty of Star Wars, is when they really drop something we're not expecting, it really drops heavy. Like in the Episode 9 teaser trailer that was a Celebration, the laughter from Emperor really rocked the nation for the hardcore fans and probably people outside. But the other aspect is when, back in 1980, when Darth Vader announced to the world, he was the father of Luke Skywalker. At that point, it was a shock. Now it's common knowledge. I think it needs something in this trailer, a teaser, whatever it is, that we're not expecting at all. If they're going to use a character like, even if it's Darth Vader, which I think they're going to use somewhere along the line in this last episode, or if they're going to use another character named Thrawn, those strong characters with some sort of ending image or verbal will create an even bigger buzz from the last teaser trailer. That's what the Episode 9 next teaser and or trailer needs. Something different, original, and unexpected from a strong character like Darth Vader or Thrawn to really rock our nation. That's my interviews part where I interview myself again, and 2Q, 2 questions where I ask myself for you guys out there. If you have any questions, please send them via YouTube or Instagram, which you can get the details down below, or even the Twitter I'm on. And the Force Always is only on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, like and share the video amongst your friends, even yourself. Repeat it if you like for a bit more detail. And hopefully I'm not wearing this robe too much because it's comfortable, but you know, I feel like I'm really sick being in the bathroom robe. I feel a bit lazy, but you know, I'm quite sick at the moment. Excuse me again. Until next time, keep rocking.